In a little town called Tigersville, there's a little fox named Swifty who lives in the Arctic. Therefore, his parents ensure that he wears clothes of the same color so that he can camouflage himself against the icy environment and from predators. But Swifty loves to go outside and explore the town's surroundings, particularly to see his heroes Duke, Dakota, and Dusty. The trio of Siberian Huskies, known as the Pack, deliver packages all over Tigersville and are regarded as heroes. On yet another delivery day, the Pack crosses the ice mountain, and Swifty tries to follow them using a piece of tree bark as a ski. Because of his color, the Huskies can't see him, and Swifty continues on ahead to the town, where he bumps into a little orange fox named Jade. The young man apologizes for this and helps to repair Jade's toy, forming a great friendship. Soon after, Duke, Dakota, and Dusty arrive in Tigersville and begin delivering packages to all the residents, except Swifty. The little fox is saddened by this, but Duke gives him an autographed card and tells him that if he works hard, he might be able to join the pack one day. Swifty is happy with the gift, and for the next few years, he tries to get a job at the delivery agency, while Jade goes to college and moves to another city. After a lot of effort, Swifty lands a position as a junior apprentice at the agency, confident that he'll soon become one of the delivery dogs. After 3 years, or 21 dog years, the fox is still organizing packages. The agency conducts tryouts every year to hire new delivery drivers, and Swifty is sure he'll be selected this year. He trains hard, steps on the scales, and finds that he has lost 1 pound to 19 pounds, and the agency's minimum requirement is 20 pounds. The fox is desperate and asks his colleague and best friend PB the polar bear for help in regaining the lost weight. PB thinks Swifty should give up on the idea, since only dogs pull the sleds carrying the packages. Despite this, Swifty will not surrender, and when it's time for the test, he and PB roll down the mountain on a piece of tree bark. The bear is afraid of the perilous journey, but the fox knows the way down and is able to glide down to the city. However, the two pick up speed and Swifty can't control it, sending snow flying everywhere. On the way, he meets Jade, who is traveling back to Tigersville, having become a mechanical engineer. When Swifty sees his old friend again, he thinks that he should ask her out after the test, but he is sure that the test will be positive. Unfortunately, when he talks to his boss, Magda the reindeer, she tells him that the fox still didn't fulfill the requirements and will be working on sorting packages again. Swifty is so disappointed that when he returns to work, he can no longer stand the boredom of the job and considers quitting. But he brightens up when he sees Dusty in the dog pack at the agency, who is waiting for another day of deliveries. Due to their advancing age, the trio doesn't have the same vigor as before, but they continue to do their best. As soon as they leave, Jade shows up at the agency with a package, but PB tells her that the dog squad has just left. Seeing an opportunity to impress Jade, Swifty promises to deliver the package, since he's in training to become a delivery person. His friend thanks him for his assistance, but when she's gone, Swifty has to come up with a plan to make the delivery. Then he asks PB and an albatross named Lemmy for assistance, and they lead him to the old warehouse where the used sleds are kept. As soon as he gets hold of a sled that is still in good shape, Swifty loads up Jade's package and tells his friends to keep it quiet. Lastly, the fox heads out on his first delivery by himself, but soon finds that the address is in the mountains, away from the city. Swifty arrives at his destination. Even though it's a long way, his sled is heavy, and it's a blizzard. He then rings the customer on the intercom, and a scientist walrus answers, Dr. Walrus. He sends his team of sea parrots to get the package, but Swifty tells him that the doctor has to come himself to sign the delivery form. The scientist is annoyed by this, but with no other choice, he signs the paper and takes the package sent by Jade. Then Swifty trudges back, and unnoticed by him, a sea parrot's feather drops off the sled and is retrieved by 2 unknown animals. Upon arriving in Tigersville, Swifty goes to Jade's house to let her know about the delivery and finds her fixing a huge snow machine. The two friends take the opportunity to catch up, with Jade telling him about the trips she's taken around the world. Despite this, she never missed out on Tigersville, particularly Swifty. The fox wants to ask her out, but can't bring himself to do it, so he says goodbye to Jade. But as he's about to leave, he notices the toy he fixed years ago on the table, and he is pleased to see that Jade has kept it all these years. The following day, the fox goes to his friends and tells them all about it, but Magda discovers the unapproved delivery. For this reason, she punishes Swifty harshly, and he is suspended from duty until further notice. With this latest problem, Swifty's dream of joining the dog pack seems even more out of reach. At dusk, Duke and his friends finish another round of deliveries and head back home when they come across a lone sea parrot. The three try to help it, but another parrot shows up, and the three fire a sleeping gas at the Huskies. The following day, Swifty hears someone at the door, and finds a package, but no information about who sent it. When he opens it, the briefcase is empty, but a pair of otters attack Swifty and trap him in the briefcase. Soon the fox awakens in a dark room to find two French otters, Leopold and Bertha, who are private detectives. They meet Swifty and ask him if he knows anything about the sudden increase in temperature and the presence of sea parrots in the area. The fox doesn't understand what they're saying, and since he's innocent, Leopold and Bertha invite him to help with the investigation. Frightened by the pair of crazy detectives, Swifty agrees, and Leopold then assigns him his first mission, to investigate what's going on at the agency. The fox heads over there only to discover that Duke, Dakota, and Dusty have vanished. All they have left is a suspicious resignation letter, and if they don't come, the delivery agency will be over. Duke sees the opportunity he's always wanted and heads to Magda's office and offers to be the new delivery person in Tigersville. With no one else available for the job, the reindeer accepts, but warns that if he loses a package, or even a pen, he'll be fired. Swifty takes the challenge, and with the help of his friends he loads the sleigh and gets ready for his first official delivery. Jade appears again soon, and apologizes for Swifty being suspended due to her package delivery. However, the fox says he's now an official delivery person, and Jade then asks him to deliver another package to Dr. Walrus. Swifty agrees to make the delivery, and before he leaves, he says that he has a question for her. Jade becomes nervous, hoping he'll ask her out, but the goofball asks her if she wants a discount on future deliveries. Last but not least, it's time for Swifty to go, but as he feared, the sled is too heavy for him to carry. Then, PB gives a hand and stealthily pushes the sled, which starts to run at full speed toward the city. The next few hours, Swifty delivers the packages to the residents, and although it's a difficult task, he does it better than he expected. The final one of the day is for Dr. Walrus, and Swifty doesn't know that the scientist is keeping the 3 huskies in his lab. When the fox arrives, he calls out to the doctor, and immediately leaves the lab, signing the form to keep up appearances. He then says he's busy with a new invention and locks himself in the lab, but the doctor ends up taking Swifty's pen. The fox is afraid that he will be fired by Magda, so he goes to get it back through the parrot's secret passage. There, Swifty picks up the pen, but discovers the huskies' collars in a garbage can, as well as a number of weapons being constructed by the doctor and his parrots. Not only that, but they've built an even bigger machine, similar to an excavator. Swifty thinks it's all weird and sees the doctor talking to the parrots, and he says that his grand plan is about to come true because of the equipment that Jade sent. Then he shows a map of the area on the screen and places an X on some places, such as the town of Tigersville. It seems the doctor is hiding some sinister plan, and Swifty decides it's best to get out of there, but he accidentally knocks over several cabinets in the lab. Fortunately, after escaping the lab, Swifty takes the sleigh back to the agency and tries to warn Magda, only to stumble upon a surprise party. The agency's boss congratulates the employee who did a perfect job with deliveries around town. From then on, he is officially a delivery person, and everyone celebrates his promotion, including Jade. Swifty remains concerned about what's happening lab and tries to warn his friend, but everyone continues to celebrate the fox as a hero. Magda even includes a portrait of him in the photos of the dog pack, with the fox finally getting the recognition he's long sought. All this attention makes Swifty so excited that he forgets about the problem in the lab and goes off to enjoy his newfound fame. Jade tries to talk to her friend, but he's too busy showing off and signing autographs for his new fans. Jade is hurt and walks away, but when Swifty sees this, he runs after her and asks what is the matter. She says she wanted to tell him something, but didn't because she didn't want to ruin his party. Swifty also has something to say, and mentions the pieces she sent to Dr. Walrus. This wasn't what Jade was expecting, and she just gets more annoyed, accusing Swifty of letting his obsession with the delivery job change his personality. Jade then leaves and Swifty tries to go after her, but his friends call him back to continue the party at the agency. Soon after, Jade comes home and discovers that a sea parrot is in her possession. She then heads to speak with the little creature, but once again, like Duke, Jade is hit with a sleeping gas and brought to the lab. It's another day, and Swifty is in a terrible hangover after partying all night to celebrate his promotion. But soon, PB appears outside and encourages his friend to go to work to keep fit. Although tired, Swifty joins PB, but he sees something is amiss in the city. The melting rate of the ice is unusually high. In addition, a bunch of kids is standing around and talking to Swifty, requesting autographs and pictures with the new celebrity. However, the fox refuses all this attention, since he believes he only got the job as a delivery person after the huskies were captured. PB believes that this is ridiculous, as he has read the resignation letter of the trio. However, However, Swifty suspects it is fake and claims that he found dog collars in the doctor's lab. Things only get worse when the two get to the agency and Magda has packed up for the day because of the flooding caused by the melting ice. The reindeer also says she tried to talk to Jade to fix the air conditioner, but the fox didn't answer her calls. Finding this suspicious, Swifty goes to her house, but finds the place empty and a letter written by the doctor saying that thanks to Jade's parts, he'll be able to change the world. Along with this, Swifty finds more sea parrot feathers indicating that Jade was captured on the doctor's orders. To rescue his friend, the fox goes to look for Leopold and Bertha, telling him he found new clues in the lab. Dr. Walrus is working on weapons with the parts given by Jade in a type of excavator, he said. In addition, the scientist has indicated some points on his map that he thinks are targets for his secret plan. Upon hearing this, the otter couple shows the map they've put together, highlighting locations where there has been a rise in temperature and an increase in the population of parakeets. Swifty knows that these are the same markings as on the doctor's map, except for one, the town of Tigersville. Leopold and Bertha believe that this is the next site to be excavated because the subsoil has a dangerous substance called evil gas. When this gas enters the atmosphere, the temperature will quickly increase to the point where the polar ice caps will melt completely. Swifty doesn't know why the doctor is doing this, but Leopold suggests that they may get more information at the sea parrot colony. The three go there at dusk to investigate and, as the otters suspected, Dr. Walrus is there, with his excavator, boring into the ground. The bad gas starts to leak out of the hole with a strong smell and alters the temperature. From the top of a hill, Swifty watches all this and takes some photos with his camera as proof. However, as the trio was leaving, Swifty accidentally drops a rock, causing half the hill to collapse. The flock of parrots can see everything and they go after the intruders, but Bertha and Leopold jump into the snow and ask Swifty to use their bodies as if they were skis. The fox then slides at full speed over the snow, but the parrots are faster and are about to catch up to the fox. The trio runs as fast as they can until they find a small opening under a log and slip through it, throwing the parrots off their trail. Meanwhile, the Dr. Walrus returns to the lab and goes to speak with Jade, who is being held prisoner. He tells her that her parts were a great help, but now he needs a control panel to complete his great machine. The doctor then allows Jade to do the work, but the fox has other plans and secretly constructs a special mechanism for the panel. The next morning, Swifty gathers all the townspeople and warns them that a great threat is approaching. He then presents the photographs of what he found, and that Dr. Walrus and his parrots are digging in various locations around the area to release the gas of evil. Magda hears that name, and realizes that the doctor was one of the employees at her agency. His real name is Otto von Morsel, and years ago, he was expelled by his gang because they rejected his crazy invention. Otto wandered aimlessly until he arrived in Tigersville, where he was accepted by Magda and became the agency's chief engineer. His inventions helped to speed up the delivery service, but Otto wanted to do more, so he invented a new machine. This time, it would use the evil gas that it could get from underground to send packages even quicker. But Magda knew the danger the invention could cause if there was a gas leak, so she fired Otto from the agency. Since then, he has disappeared, but he had sworn revenge not only against Magda, but also against town. Swifty listens to the story and asks the residents for assistance because if the gas is released, the ice will melt and all of Tigersville will be flooded. The animals are all afraid to go, but there is a group of animals that are willing to help. The team then goes to Jade's house, where they discover a large snow machine that will aid them in breaking into the lab. Everything is set. They move towards Dr. Otto's lab, but the parrots notice the intruders and start a counterattack. With their cannons, they fire huge snowballs, causing the machine to tip over onto the ground. To make matters worse, Swifty and his friends are captured by the parrots and taken to the lab's dungeon, right next to the husky cell. Swifty is pleased that they have made it safely to the other side, and he asks them to help him get out of there before Tigersville is destroyed. However, Duke says he can't do anything since he and his companions are just old dogs who made deliveries around town. In the meantime, Jade is putting together the control panel and asks the doctor what he will do with it. Then Otto presents her with the blueprint for his new invention, a mobile drill housed in the lab. The scientist tells the audience his plans to take revenge on Tigersville for rejecting his assistance and his genius in invention. Not only will the people of the town ask for his assistance, but people around the world will seek his assistance and value him. Jade is furious when she finds out about this and attempts to strike the doctor, but he is able to easily subdue her with the tentacles of his robotic armor. He then chains her up in the dungeon, where the fox meets up with Swifty and her friends. Magda and the others think that Jade knew all along and believe she helped the doctor construct the machine. However, the fox defends herself, saying she had no idea of the doctor's intentions and only helped him in the hope of becoming a successful engineer. Swifty knew her reasons, because he had become obsessed with becoming a delivery person as well, and had forgotten what was most important, Jade. She claims she feels the same way and admits that she only came back to Tigersville because of Swifty, with the two of them clasping paws through the crack in the cell bars. This romantic moment is shared by all around them, but is interrupted by Dr. Otto, who takes the cells to a secret compartment. Once there, the scientist opens the lower hatches, revealing a huge pit of boiling water. Finally, he turns on a mechanism and says goodbye to the prisoners as their cages slowly drop to the hot water. Jade takes the bucket handle in her cage and uses it on the door latch until she is able to open it. She then leaps over to Swifty's cell, but accidentally drops a device into the hot water. Even so, there's no time to waste, and she opens the door with the animals leaping into the highest cell, which continues to descend rapidly. The only way they can save themselves is to turn off the cell's controls on the other side of the room. The group then shoots Lemmy using a rubber band, and upon reaching the control panel, the animal doesn't know which buttons to press and causes the cell to spin around the room. After pressing every button, Lemmy manages to save his friends, but they still need to thwart Dr. Otto's plans. Jade says she created a self-destruct button for the excavator on the control panel that can be activated remotely, but she dropped the device into the water. Now, the only option is to press the button manually on top of the excavator, but whoever does so may not survive the explosion. Swifty, however, is determined to destroy the machine and asks Jade to tell him where it is. As the group looks for a way out, Dr. Otto takes his mobile lab into town and instructs his army of parrots to carry the excavator. As soon as they arrive in downtown Tigersville, the doctor tells the residents that the time for revenge has come. He then presses the button, and in 5 minutes, the excavator will bore into the ground and the evil gas will melt the polar ice caps. Soon, Swifty and his friends were able to get out of the lab and run to the excavator. The parrots with their snowball guns are in their way. The group doesn't know how to get around them, but Swifty has an idea and decides to use his camouflage to cross the snow without being noticed. Magda and the others stay behind to provide cover, and Jade warns Swifty that once he presses the red button on the control panel, he'll have only a few seconds to escape the blast radius. The fox promises to do so, and before leaving, he kisses Jade, promising to see her again soon. Then, the group starts their attack plan, with Swifty sneaking through the snow. Magda and the others capture the parrot's snow weapons and begin an attack. Along with them, Duke, Dakota, and Dusty also appear to help with Jade's snow machine. The path is clear, and Swifty jumps towards the excavator to get to the top using the snowballs thrown by the parrots. Upon seeing the fox, Dr. Otto engages in a battle with Swifty with just 1 minute left before the ground is drilled through. The doctor is stronger and knocks the fox down, but he uses his camouflage to hide, and finally, Swifty is able to press the red button. The excavator suddenly ceases operation, and the pressure gradually increases and will explode in a few seconds. Swifty tries to escape, but Dr. Otto begs the fox to help him get out of there. Swifty then reaches out his paw, but in a treacherous move, the doctor attacks the fox and pins him down with an iron pipe. Jade panics and tries to help Swifty, but it's too late, and the excavator explodes, hurling the fox and the doctor far away. The explosion annihilates the excavator and short-circuits the doctor's mobile laboratory, which starts to sink into the water. Tigersville has been saved, but Jade runs frantically in search of Swifty until she finds him under a pile of snow. Fortunately, the fox survived the explosion, and everyone recognizes him as a great hero. Days later, life goes back to normal, but with a new job at the agency, Swifty takes on new hires to deliver around town. Magda also gives the dog squad their much-deserved retirement, and the three of them embark on their first vacation. Dr. Otto also received what he deserved, and that was a special box that's being sent directly to prison. Finally, Swifty earned the recognition he'd always sought thanks to Jade and her friends. The couple then watches their new team set off on new deliveries, knowing that the agency's future is in good hands. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a comment about your favorite movie, and we will make it next. Thanks for watching.